We kickstart center stage tonight with exclusive details about the explosive tell-all diary maintained by disgraced billionaire engineer Yadav Singh. All the names in the diary are listed down as code words. There are 3 entries that have caught the attention of the investigating officers. First, there's a Neta's Bhai. The second, a certain Pandit Ji. And the third is a Mr. Chadda. Now the cops want to know who these 3 VIPs are.
He engineered a scam worth 954 crore rupees. A scam that has now put VIPs in the dock. The recovery of 2 diaries belonging to Yadav Singh, the former engineer-in-chief of Noida, Greater Noida and Yamuna Expressway, has revealed his dubious dealings, cash transactions and links with top bureaucrats and politicians. According to the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the diary has names of UP's big builders and politicians. And 3 code names have set the alarm bells ringing. Yadav Singh's diary names Pandit Ji, Bhai Sahab and Chadda. Investigating agencies are now trying to find out who these code names refer to and how do they fit into Yadav Singh's web of deceit. Yadav Singh has not been arrested so far. He's only been suspended as the engineer-in-chief of Noida, Greater Noida and Yamuna Expressway.
एडवर्टाइजमेंट जो नोएडा अथॉरिटी ने निकाला था, ये भी इंडस्ट्रियल यूज के लिए इस भूमि का अधिग्रहण किया गया था। इस लेटर में जब आप देखेंगे थोड़ा सा, तो इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट के लिए किया गया था। उसके बाद अथॉरिटी ने घालमेल करी और उसका लैंड यूज चेंज कर दिया गया और उसको फार्म हाउस में चेंज कर दिया गया।
Sources say that 2 construction companies in UP that Yadav Singh favored are now being probed by central agencies. Tirupati Constructions Private Limited and JSP Construction Private Limited. These are the companies that were awarded contracts worth almost 1,000 crores. Just before the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh in 2011, Yadav Singh flouted all norms to sanction contracts for a few companies, something that sources say he couldn't have done without the nod from the top. Elections in UP were announced on 24 December 2011. On 23 December, Yadav Singh cleared illegal contracts worth 954 crore rupees. Tenders were issued just a day before the moral code of conduct was to be implemented. Projects were given to select companies first and tenders were issued later. And the CID covered up the scam. But who are the people who allowed Yadav Singh to flout all rules? Who are the beneficiaries of this 954 crore rupee scam? With Akshay Singh and Deepak Sharma in Delhi, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
We've seen with the Jain Hawala diaries as well, it's very difficult for the investigating officers to pin down these code words to actual people. Joining us for more on this story, we've got Ankit Tyagi. And Ankit, apart from this diary, what's the kind of evidence that the police has been able to build against Yadav? Because these diaries refer to VIPs. Now, there's a lot of conjecture, a lot of speculation, but what's the kind of evidence about kickbacks to these powers that be in the previous government that the investigating officers have been able to put together so far, Ankit?
Rahul, the police and the investigating agencies are now looking at 2 lines of their investigation. One, of course, is about how he has given contracts to certain companies and the illegality involved in it. They have recovered some papers not only from his house but some bank lockers also. They are not only in Noida but also in Lucknow, Mathura and other places where the police has raided. Apart from that, the police is also, as the code words that you mentioned and also that those were in the report, police say that few of these code words, they are very close to crack them. A few businessmen are under the scanner of the police. Apart from that, also some bureaucrats. They are also looking into some politicians. The police is also looking into another line of investigation about how Yadav Singh was being used by certain politicians and bureaucrats to park their funds, and that funds were being rotated by Yadav Singh. So these are 2 line of investigation the police is taking, not only about the illegality involved as far as the contracts contracts being awarded are concerned, but also as he being used to park illegal funds, the black money that many politicians and businessmen were in fact using him as.
Okay. The police clearly being able to establish a trail that this leads up to important bureaucrats and politicians. The question is, will they be able to pin them down, or will this be a wild goose chase? That's the way it's always been in each of these cases involving a diary. For the time being, Ankit Tyagi for joining us tonight. Thank you very much. She's been a beacon of hope for countless deprived children the world over. The Nobel Prize to 17-year-old Malala Yousafzai is an affirmation of the peace the world so desperately seeks. The youngest ever Nobel laureate spoke to Deputy Editor Smita Sharma on how life has changed after the Peace Prize and the road that lies ahead. This exclusive from Oslo.
The youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, is here with me. Malala, what does the Nobel Peace Prize really signify to you? How does it change your mission ahead?
I'm really honored that I have received this prize together with Kailash Satyarthi, and it's a great honor. It's a prize for peace. It encourages those people who are fighting for children's rights, for women's rights, for human rights. And this award is not just for me, it is for those children who are deprived of education, and especially for those girls who have no access to education, whose talents are not respected, who do not get equal opportunities in society. So I'm hoping that this will encourage more girls to come forward and speak up for their rights, and this is totally to raise the voices of children.
And do you think, regardless of how the diplomatic relations are between New Delhi and Islamabad, you can still continue to work with somebody like a Kailash Satyarthi on social challenges which are common to both countries?
Well, Kailash Satyarthi, he's a wonderful person, and he has been doing a great work for decades, and it would be a great opportunity to work together with him, and the work he does really inspires us. So I'm really grateful that we have received this award together. It itself is a big honor. And about India and Pakistan, I'm hoping to see good relationships. This is how both the countries are going to develop and see progress.
एक आखिरी सवाल उर्दू में हमारे दर्शकों के लिए, जो बच्चे हैं जो आपको देख रहे हैं, उनको आप क्या संदेशा देना चाहेंगी?
तो बच्चों के लिए यही पैगाम है कि आप अपने हक के लिए खुद आवाज़ उठाएं, किसी और का इंतज़ार ना करें. अगर आप इंतज़ार करेंगे तो हो सकता है कोई आपके लिए ना बोले, तो इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि आप खुद आगे बढ़ें, अपने हक की बात करें, तालीम की बात करें और मसाइल के खिलाफ बात करें जिनसे जो आपको दरपेश है, जैसे कि चाइल्ड लेबर हो गया, चाइल्ड ट्रैफिकिंग हो गया. तब आगे आए और तालीम के लिए बात करें.
We wish you all success and further empowerment in future. So Nobel laureate, Nobel शांति दूत मलाला यूसुफजई सम्मान पाने के बाद सबसे पहले किसी एक भारतीय चैनल के साथ मुखातिब होते हुए सिद्धार्थ सफाई के साथ स्मिता शर्मा, Oslo for आज तक and headlines today. Thank you so much, Malala.
We've got breaking news coming in. There's been yet another terror attack in the Kashmir Valley. A grenade this time has been hurled at the Sherbagh police station in Anantnag, in which at least 3 policemen are feared injured. Let's go across to headlines. Today's correspondent Suja Ulhaq Thakur, who's joining us from Srinagar. Suja, what can you tell us about this grenade attack at Anantnag?
Well, right, Rahul, around 9:15 is the time when a grenade was lobbed at this police station. It's one of the main police stations in Anantnag town, Sherbagh. And we got information that at least 4 policemen have suffered very grievous injuries. They've been shifted to the nearby hospitals and are being treated. But the bigger point here is that this entire area goes for polls on December 14th, and that is the fourth phase of the polls in J&K. So that makes it all the more worrying. Remember, we've been reporting about it. There have been several intelligence inputs that there could be militant strikes. In fact, simultaneous and multiple militant strikes is what the intelligence has been hinting at. So this comes at a time when there have been a lot of other attacks also which have happened. Remember, there was an attack in Uri and several attacks in South Kashmir, and Anantnag being in South Kashmir is all the more important because of the fact that of late we've seen militancy increasing in this entire belt. So that makes it all the more difficult for the entire security establishment, particularly at a time when the polls are around the corner.
All right, I'm going to leave it over there. Suja Ulhaq for joining us with that update. Thank you. Now, let's move on to a Headlines Today special report. We've all heard about Khap Panchayats in Haryana that pass bizarre diktats and announce harsh punishments. But little is known about Gavik Panchayats in Maharashtra, which rule villages just about 200 kilometers away from maximum city, quite like Khaps. Amrita Shedge files this ground report.
70-year-old Shivram Wangule and Narayan Bhagat. These two, like many others, have been boycotted and ostracized labelled as outcast in their own land. And with no fault of theirs. This bizarre diktat has come from Gav ki system of Panchayat, which exists in the interior parts of Maharashtra and acts like a cup. 70-year-old Shivram Wangule and his wife were forced to pay 1 lakh rupees to the Gavkis, and when he refused, he was boycotted.
त्याला 1 लाख रुपये दे. माझ्याशी कोण बोलताना गावातला बघितला ना, दुसऱ्याने पुरावा केला, हा बोलत होता, त्याला 1 लाख रुपये दे. अशी परिस्थिती करून ठेवली. संसारचं कामचा थोडा होता तो पण धुळीला मिळाला.
At the age of 70, Shivram Wangule has no option but to walk down to the nearby village to get the day-to-day necessary things. From past 5 years, he's living this hard life because his own village has excommunicated him.
मागे एक टाइम त्या पोरेला मारल्याने दमली, मला इकडे धमकी द्यायला लागली, तू एकटा भेट पण तुझ्या हातपाय तोडून टाकतो.
The irony is that his pleas fell on deaf ears, and instead of taking action, politicians are shamelessly endorsing the panchayat.
अभी नहीं चलता, अभी कागजात है करके तो हम लोग को यही तो रास्ता है ना. फिर अभी कागजात तुम्हारे नाम पे है, कोर्ट में वही सिद्ध हो सकता है, पॉलिटिशियन में बोलता है अगर तुम्हारा नाम है तो बाकी हम लोग क्या करते हैं, तुम्हारा हमारा रास्ता ही खत्म कि तुम हमारे इधर आना नहीं, हम तुम्हारे इधर आना नहीं या कुछ करना नहीं.
In Alibag's Warsoli village, Narayan Bhagat has been boycotted over a petty land issue. Nobody in the village communicates with his family, and if anyone dares to defy the panchayat, they too are punished. The Gav ki terror is such that he is not even allowed to cast his vote. With no legal framework and definition, the Gav ki system is hollowing the system like a termite. The social boycott is an offence under the IPC. The situation hasn't changed much.
अभी उसको कोई लीगल वैल्यू नहीं है, लेकिन गांव में जो अभी ये थोड़ी सी प्रथा इसको बोलते हैं वो नज़र आती है.
2012 से ये सब केसेस दिखते हैं, उसमें एक भी ऐसी केस नहीं कि उसमें फाइनल डिसीजन किसी भी लेवल पे हुआ है. सब में पेंडेंसी है, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, उसका कुछ नहीं.
All these people battling economic and social trauma are suffering because they have nobody to turn to. The enforcement authorities have failed to tackle such issues due to the absence of a particular law against social boycott and the Gav ki system. Out of 35 such cases in the last 10 months, only 18 cases are on police record. And we again see politicians just preaching but not giving any solution.
In the last 2 months, the percentage of those cases has been increased so lot. So I feel personally that government should take very firm and strict action against those who are culprits.
In a country that aims to be called as a developed country by 2020, some parts of the society are still struggling to get their basic rights. Excommunication or social boycott, as we commonly known, is a very delicate and dangerous issue, but still not taken seriously by the people who are sitting on top of the democratic pillar. We have just shown you some of the cases of excommunication or social boycott, but the actual number is huge. This is the time when we need to boycott such traditions. With cameraman Mahesh More, Amrita Shedge in Raigad for Headlines Today.